What is going on, family? You didn't think I was going to do a live stream. To be honest, I didn't really have it planned. Markets are absolutely bleeding like you've never seen before, and we have to talk. Serious questions now being asked about the crypto market in general. Yo, Caveman, what's going on, brother? I just literally got back in, and listen, it's what 1:30 in the morning here, but I had to come on here today of all days. Let me know if you guys can hear me. What is going on, Pratik? Hope you're doing well. We talk about crypto every day, man, and things are absolutely going nuts. And I just want to set, no one knows exactly what's going on right now, to be honest. If anyone claims to do so, then they are absolute geniuses. But what I can tell you is the macro side of things is way, way more concerning than usual. Okay, this is the most hated cycle. This cycle is absolutely insane, and you can see the market. I mean, pretty much the crypto top 100 got a few greens developing in the last kind of 10 minutes, but overall it's been a carnage. It's been a day from hell. It's been a cycle from hell, and largely it's to do with things that are beyond our control. Okay, I did a good piece with the community today, explaining my reasons as to why things are happening the way they are. And of course, they will continue to control, manipulate, and ultimately send the markets when they need to send the markets. So we want to talk about the last dip, okay? If you remember the last dip and what you did or what you didn't do, I think those are vital lessons to navigate the rest of this cycle. And why am I referring back to April? Back in April, I mean, if you look at all the altcoins, to be honest, the majority of gains have been lost. Let me just get some background in. Can hear myself too much. Guys, let me know if you can hear me in the comments, please. Let me know if you can hear me. Otherwise, I'll continue to keep talking. Oh, we've got a fly here. Anyway, so let's continue with this, guys. We're seeing an absolute carnage in the market. And again, it is the macro side of things that is dictating loud and clear. Amazing. Thank you so much, Lotus. Oh, get the hell out of here, man. So Trump came out today and his team, and obviously the tariffs are pretty much driving the market. However, because it's the weekend, all RSIs are looking absolutely things are just looking more difficult. Now, what I would say is it's the perfect opportunity, unless we're going to start entering a bear market, it's the perfect opportunity to check your portfolio. And we are going to look at some altcoins. The top 100. Let's go start with Ethereum on the weekly. So far, ETH is actually holding up well. Considering, I think the lowest ETH can probably go is the $2,300 level, right? Picture is so this is where we are for ETH. We may come down to this level here. And to be honest with you, you know what? It is absolutely Absolutely. Yeah, Trump has a stick. Lotus rip it into Trump. So yeah, I mean, it is absolutely insanity. But listen, what would happen if ETH comes back to this level here? To this level here. It's just going to be another great buying opportunity, in my opinion. The same way they manipulate the market to the downside, they will absolutely send the market one last time. That's all that's in it. It's just one last time. Now, we looked at Bitcoin dominance yesterday, and we did say that Bitcoin dominance is absolutely going to cause us problems. Now, why is it going to cause us problems? If Bitcoin dominance continues and comes up to this 70% level here, then I think that the alts will be ultimately completely destroyed. Patriot, thank you, brother. Yeah, when Trump speaks shit, he goes to hell. Well, he did. And I understood the reasons as to why he did it. Because you have to understand this is a game, this is a macro game, and this is a game that is going to ultimately trap all of us for a big bear market when it comes. So far, I'm not calling a bear market. I think they will continue to send the markets at some point. The question is, a lot of people are impatient. The main question right now is, how long do we stay in these terrible markets? And I think I've got some kind of an idea on how this is all going to end, in my opinion. Again, patience is the key. How long are we in these markets, and how long are we willing to suffer? Now, I shared this post today, and out of the blue, considering obviously Trump had there's a court case going on and whatnot. 2 weeks ago, China was in grave economic danger. The very high tariffs are said made virtually impossible for China to trade into the United States marketplace, which is by far the number one in the world. Okay. So we went, in effect, cold turkey with China, and is devastating for them. Many factories closed, and this is obviously civil unrest. So this is what he's calling. And guys, honestly, the more this cycle continues, and if you remember the last cycle, it kind of started with a similar fashion, right? You had the Trump tariffs. And as a result, he got distracted. I mean, this is a completely different Trump to the one that came in back in 2016. You have to understand that. Completely different. Why? Because in 2016, he had a lot of cases going on. He had a lot of personal lawsuits to deal with. There was a lot of things going on. At this particular moment in time, he's in the driving seat, right? So he said he made a fast deal with China in order to save them from what he thought was going to be a very bad situation. And I didn't want them, and he didn't want to see that happen. Because of this deal, everything quickly stabilized and China got back to business as usual. Everybody was happy. That was good news. The bad news is that China, perhaps not surprising to some, has totally violated its agreement with us. So much for Mr. Nice Guy. Okay. So, of course, understanding the current dip with geopolitics, what's happening with central banks, and of course the game ahead, I thought might be a good explainer as to why many people who feel their cycle is either over or never going to get over the line. I see a massive market manipulation. And why do I see that? These guys understand crypto now. In the last cycle, they did not. There are a lot more state actors involved and people in the administration involved. Now, what tends to happen in a scenario like this is, for me anyway, personally, just thinking of different permutations on what can happen. And again, it's all guesswork. Nobody actually knows. That's why Raoul Powell said the other day that we've been in the banana zone since last year. What a load of crap, because the understanding for many is that the banana zone is yet to come. And we have only seen one or two slightly good drop of Bitcoin dominance in a long time, right? So this is my thesis and my thesis only, and I think it should make every single one of you understand why you should remain in the game for now, because the same people that are crashing the market are the same people that are going to send this market, and at least a couple of $1 trillion of liquidity will come into this space, right? You have to understand how you felt in April and the moves you could have made. Well, the chances are near back to where they were. So it's like I said before, one step forward, two steps back, and it is the most frustrating part of the cycle. Now, while many of us are obviously looking at the charts, checking the technical levels on a daily, the ability for Trump to control the narrative is far greater. And when the ability for one person or his administration to do this is the opposite is also true, when ultimately things line up, I think the cycle ending will be quite spectacular in my opinion. Of course, the markets are such that sentiment can change, and of course the fear and greed, which I'll show you in a minute. The crypto fear and greed index is an interesting one because it was riding really high. If you look at the last few weeks, few months, and it still has not come down, in my opinion, to the levels of extreme fear. So what would that look like, right? You got to ask yourself what that would look like in a case where they crash these markets even further. But you can clearly see fear and greed basically is at 61. But that's not true, right? That's not true. So if we go back to this analysis, and again, I will definitely, I will be tackling that question, Pratik. Very good question. I will be tackling that question in this post. So while, we never had to think like we do now, right? Retail is smarter. They tell you every day retail's not here. Retail's just being screwed time after time, right? The trust or what I would say, crypto sentiment has never been lower. And of course, more people have left this space that I know anyway in the last few months than the prior 3 years or, 2.5 years of bear market action. Now, what's going on? Let's ask ourselves, what's going on in the crypto space and why is this China-US dynamic quite prominent? So this week, obviously, Trump lit the match again under the global market, stating that China is totally violating the agreement. We've been through that. This signals a potential US-China deal collapse. And while unconfirmed, the markets are already reacting to the possibilities of that happening. Let's not forget, China is a rising power. The US is the reigning superpower, and many people don't understand that this fight is not just economic. It's also potentially a future world war or future global conflict. You have to understand that when for those of you that are aware of history, of course, the rise of the Soviet Union post-World War and the US led us to the Cold War, and they competed for everything from different economic models to the space race. So what you're seeing right now, and again, that's why crypto is suffering, but what you're seeing right now is a bigger war that's happening between the US and China. So China is a rising power. The US is the reigning superpower. The economic war is real, and the threat to a hot conflict over resources. Potentially, the next wars will be fought over water and rare earths. Over conflict over Taiwan looms large. Even the US Trade Representative Greer joined the rhetoric, saying today, obviously, China's behavior is completely unacceptable, and we are very concerned with their non-compliance. Now, we don't know what this non-compliance is. So my guess is that China is still, importing into the US via other avenues. And of course, in plain terms, China is dodging tariffs, is what they're saying, and America knows it. But why not is the question. Of course, they are an export, like Trump said, they were in trouble. Their factories are closing, so they are an exporting or export-based manufacturing economy. This is deeper than trade. Um, this is a systematic rivalry, and the markets hate this kind of uncertainty. It's happening with the Fed, it's happening with US businesses, it's happening globally, and it's impacting everyone. It's not just a local scene, right? So this is the reason why the markets are moving the way they are, of course. And then the Bank of Japan opens the floodgates. Now, the big news everyone should be watching: Bank of Japan offers to provide government debt immediately uh, on an offer. This is a flashing red light for macro watchers, with a debt-ridden economy like Japan, with a 200% plus debt to GDP ratio, starts repurchasing bonds again. It's not confidence, it's depression. So we knew anyway, pretty much. I posted this in the morning in the Discord and over there on Patreon. But we pretty much knew in the last kind of 48 hours the things were going to shift. Now, why does this matter? The Bank of Japan is trying to suppress yields, or the JP 10-year yields, which obviously surged to 1.58%, a level comparable to the US 10-year yield at 5% when Besant came in. Even the Bank of Japan 40-year historic highs. This is similar to what triggered the SPV collapse in 2003. And of course, long-term yield breaking portfolios built on low interest consumption. Now, it might be all too technical, but central banks around the world, as a result, are crashing. The bond markets, as usual, front run these panics. And of course, PCE data today cooling, but not enough, because the data came in. And of course, this is the Fed's favorite inflation gauge. Now, that obviously leads to a lot of questions, and I'm definitely going to answer this question. That is a basically a very good question to take things out of what we're doing tonight. So, in line with expectation, but revised from last month, this shows a slight cooling, but not enough for Powell to call off the fight. The Fed's still stuck. Inflation is too high. Economy is too fragile. And now geopolitical flames clicking. Of course, then you have the Trump factor. Now, my outlook is this, and this might answer some of the questions before we move to individual altcoins. So Bitcoin still has a shot of towards new all-time highs. And if ETH breaks all-time highs, it is going to be mandatory for all of us here to de-risk and take some stuff off the table. Why? Because whatever run we get next, and again, we want to see how the markets open on Monday and whether this is a sustained kind of dip, or whether it's just a quick and we go down and we come back up and we attempt to get all-time highs. Now, the summer is going to be quite crucial on that basis. If we believe they allow the markets to breathe a little bit, okay? The big trap for me comes in the summer. And of course, what I'm doing is, with the communities, I'm hoping that we have the opportunity to try and maybe do what we call an exit re-entry strategy. And of course, it's going to be largely out of our hands, but the cycle is different. Cycle is way more there are a lot more people that we beat crypto to that are way more powerful that want crypto. So especially Bitcoin. So all of this manipulation we're seeing right now is part of this. Well, volatility ahead from Trump's tariffs to BOJ panic, of course, with the bonds. The world is in a funny place right now. We're in the riskiest of asset classes and the first to react to you know, any of these macro movements. Now, when central banks normally repurchase debt and inflation is sticky, it's clear the system is not stable, it's reactive. In crypto, that's both a danger and an opportunity. Okay. So that's my thesis. I think we need to be absolutely calm in light of this news. We need to see how things move over the next. This month is going to be June. Is going to be super critical because we have the FOMC and the FOMC meeting in terms of the rate cuts. They are largely off the table, right? The Fed, instead of cutting, I mean, again, we released those minutes in the community earlier, but the FOMC cutting, the Fed cutting on this massive meeting in June, it's going to be incredibly interesting. Now, for the rest of the year, these are the meetings we've got left, right? We've got June 17 to 18, and then we've got July 29 to 30, September 16, 17, October, and then one in December. All right. So it's going to be quite interesting. What I'm thinking is that if we run a little bit to the FOMC, because I can't see us going to those bear markets again, unless, of course, we are heading to a bear market. But if we push up a little bit and we get the opportunity to sell some stuff, I think this is where the bonanza is going to come. Now, the expectation for everyone is that October, December, September, October, December could be fireworks, right? That theory remains, but we still need to navigate June, July, and August. So it is going to be an interesting few months for us, but we are preparing as much as we can, and hopefully in this community we don't panic and just get fed up. The summit statement, all of this stuff is being watched. We're looking at this all the time, and now, I mean, in terms of probability, anyway, of the next meeting, cuts are not likely, right? So if we look at the Fed tool, let's have a look at the Fed tool quick. Let's have a look at the Fed watch. So if we have a look at this key metric over here, so we've got the next FOMC is in 18 days, and of course, here we have unanimously. So, the current rate, 94.6%. Okay, so that is where we find ourselves now. If you look at the opportunities in the market, as always, today I literally, let's have a look at some tokens here. Like, for example, this is Beam, right? So if you look at Beam, which is a very, very good project, but unfortunately, if you look at these lows, right, we have an opportunity. This is March, April, right here. But look where we are. Look where we wick to. So there are opportunities in this market. No matter what anyone says, there's going to be huge, huge opportunities. And again, like I always say, scared money don't make money, but sometimes we get tired and people can actually give up. At the moment, I'm bullish. I continue to remain bullish because, like I said, we haven't seen Bitcoin dominance drop. But Beam is an interesting one that obviously, if you're in the community, you should be considering because it has a huge upside. And there are other opportunities as well. Lofi came crashing down back to earth. We look at Lofi USD. It's half of its market cap right now. Even though, to be honest, we bought heavy in this green box here. This is Lofi. Lofi right now could come down further, and I'm expecting maybe the price to come to somewhere, just a little bit more, maybe dip below that, but there is substantial support at that level for Lofi. And if you wanted to grab some Lofi, you can. I still believe in the Sui ecosystem. I still believe in the Sui technology. I think Sui is going to do really well. All right. And what else are we looking at in terms of the other? Let's have a look at Sui. Sui USDT. Sui has been impacted a lot. Again, I'm expecting Sui to make its way down to this just above $3 level. I think that would be a good place to buy the ecosystem because we've been in Sui for a long time, and I do believe this is the technology with the biggest opportunity to onboard 1 billion people. Sui has got support on this 50 EMA red line here. That should be a good one, especially in the ecosystem. People still want to know what's going on with thesis. Let's look at the Nixie chart on thesis. Now, thesis is starting to get some other rivals like AlphaFi, Bluefin, and other projects of that ilk. Again, the price right now is approaching that 10 cents mark. I still believe this will be a pivotal DEX over there on the Sui ecosystem. But right now, I mean, we've loaded up on these lows. It ran up. Actually, we've loaded up some more here. And we're still in a bit of profit if you consider where we've been since April. So despite all of the issues, this went up. I believe it did almost 2.5x for CETAs. Kokoro, I can see comments on Kokoro. Let me just come to you guys for a quick meet and greet. Of course, what's going on? Caveman in the building, Pratik. Good to see you guys. William here, Nitro the Frog. We will look at Nitro the Frog actually. Had a lovely dip. And someone in the Discord asked me today if it was, what was going on with Nitro. Nitro is fine. I just think that it ran up way too hard and it had to come down. It's bouncing today, surprisingly opposite to the market. But this is, this was a parabolic move here for Nitro. Yeah, this is crazy, right? So if it's just trying to form a new floor, hopefully above this level here. You can see it's up. And it's a good meme coin, 40 million. I think this could do potentially, we don't want to give out any wild predictions, but Nitro, if you want to get out early, you definitely make about anything between kind of 30 to about 50x. Interesting to see. So far, it's been moving independently, right? But interesting to see what happens when Turbo starts ripping, right? Should really run with Turbo. And the dev who's doxed, has regular spaces. So we see what it does. But so far, sitting at $4 million market cap, yeah, at a very good level. If it comes down a bit more to this 9.7 level or 9 level, it would be crazy. But that's one of the ones that should do well. My brother Caveman, yeah, seen these. Yeah, Zebec, Zebec. I think that's how you say it, or Zebec. Yeah, this had a tremendous run. I saw this quite early. I mean, I posted this at these levels in terms of market cap, very early. Some people in the Discord got into this, and it has done absolutely wonders. Right now, it's at it's enterprise discovery. Huge partnerships, amazing project, and has obviously made significant amount of money, sitting at $540 million right now. Can you crypto live here? What's going on, brother? Can you look at the ticker yield? Alex Becker and Elio Trades backing it. Yieldstone. What are they up to now? Yield. So obviously they loaded the bags. This place, it's difficult sometimes with tokens like this. Yield. What was the ticker? Yield something. I can't really see it here, bro. Check it on deck screen. Oh yeah, got it. Creator can make changes to the contract. Uniswap. You have to understand these degen projects, right? These mans would have probably loaded up a ton of. Yeah, it looks really shit. Yield.io. Their website doesn't work. The creator can make amendments to the contract. I mean, listen, they can pump this, but yeah, what's the point? What's the point? When you can, actually, there was one that I posted. Let me just go to bro's comment here. I think one of the brothers put a comment here. Yeah, this is it. Abdul said, salam, brother. Salam alaikum, brother. Love the morning buy alert. Proud to be part of the fam. Amazing, bro. So this morning, I posted a buy alert for the only token that's absolutely outperforming the market, up 17% versus Bitcoin. I did a video with it for it today, which is incredible. It's only at $1.3 million market cap, fully diluted, does have 5% buy and sell tax. But what is this? These are the type of tokens, rather than, sometimes, hopefully they get to Alex Becker and those dudes by now at some point. But this is an AI gaming project called Arcadia Operating System, or OS. And what you do is simply you type some text, and you create gaming in-game assets using this kind of text to 3D modeling. It's friggin' insane. And in today's video, I was actually playing some of someone created Tetris on there. Now, the definition of 100x is utility, right, plus height. So, as far as utility is concerned, I mean, this is all really crazy, crazy stuff. How do you play it again? You start playing, creating these games, and this game was actually created on. It was created on their operating software. Now, you may think, okay, but why would we need this? You can do text to 3D. Now, imagine the number of shit non-working products that were shilled by the likes of, say, Becca, Superman, you know, many, many. But this one hasn't actually got, it hasn't got the traction yet because it launched on Monday. Text to 3D AI animation, and they currently have good partnerships with Creo Engine, and they have a partnership with, I believe, M87 Messier. But all the games you've seen here were just literally typed into the prompt. Then you've got image to 3D, and then you got text to texture. So it's crazy. Like I do believe it's a project that has the potential, I would say, to go pick up a big KOL and absolutely go nuts. At $1.3 million, I've seen the likes of, Neural AI, the Creo engines. These have all gone into, into the billions. Millions. Hundreds of millions. So, in terms of like what this is, just to give you an idea. So basically, what is Arcadia OS? It's an operating system designed to empower developers and creators to deploy Web3 and Web2 game prototypes seamlessly by leveraging AI. And of course, they've got platform features, key milestone. Of course, they've got a lot of things. They've got a lot of things going on. It is a super degen play. But I have seen their partnerships, and of course, otherwise I wouldn't really announce something like this in the Discord. But it could really, I mean, potentially it could do insane things. It could really, really take off. And if you look at their X page, when I'm looking for these degen projects, it is almost like you never see projects like this and the type of following. So, for example, of course, they've got Messier, but I like the fact that they've got a gaming project like Creo Engine partnering with them as well. Now, technically speaking, again, $1.3 million. This could basically do $50 to $100 million, and that's that's the fact of it. Creo Engine, Messier, and it'd be interesting to see what type of partnership they obviously build with Messier. And you got their socials here, quick links. So Arcadia OS or Arcos token has been performing really well since I made that buy alert. And again, what is this? So viral video challenge. Make the most viral TikTok video about Arcadia. And I think they've got a game challenge as well. So you have to use the site to generate some games. And of course, huge shout out to the incredible community. In just a few days, you legends have built some unbelievable games so far. These are the games that Blackjack, Tetris, Pac-Man, chess, Space Invaders, and of course, Plankton Shooter. These are all playable assets, by the way, playable games. So the next thing would be, could they potentially go and get a big kind of marketing push off the back of this, this partnership with Messier as well? But I'm not really sure what the Messier P2P marketplace is. And I haven't actually checked the. So Messier M87 has an exchange as well. Not that people go there to trade or whatever, but there's liquidity pools there and whatever that spiked. Volume's only 150K, but it'd be interesting to see where this ends up. I mean, like I said, came out Monday, launched on Monday. So far, it is a tiny, tiny micro cap. It just needs one of those big YouTubers to start shitting it, and I think it will get some traction. So yeah, good, good brother. I'm so happy that you obviously saw that buy alert. Yeah, hit the like button, people. Kokoro has absolutely been super strong, right? If you look at this current dip, many people were anticipating that maybe Kokoro is going to fall. Yes, there's a 9% dip, but it is holding that $20 million market cap, still holding that beautiful, beautiful chart. And of course, the volumes on LBank and Mexi have absolutely gone through the roof. I remember the days when the volume was about 200,000. Now the trading volume is 5.4 million. We're still incredibly early to the incredible community project that is Kokoro. Of course, it's a meme coin, but I love the fact that people were anticipating an exchange listing and a dump. That didn't really happen at all. Nitro, we looked at Nitro. Crypto Life said Fifi the Frog. Fifi the Frog. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Fifi. 700K market cap. And listen, never, ever disrespect meme coins in your portfolio. This had, where was the bottom here? April, yeah. So a lot of these altcoins have just kind of bottomed in April. Probably on Uniswap. Is he on Uniswap? No, actually they've got a few exchanges as well. Good shout. I mean, like I said, I never say no to a degen play. Yeah, 4x. Congratulations, brother. Of course. Like I said, I posted that one as a microcap and I followed that project. I actually made a video on it as well on my channel in the early days. So yeah, congratulations, many, many, many congratulations, brother. So happy for you, man. Well deserved. If you see a project that is that has bled massively and the team keeps saying it, diamond hands, willing to regret selling, bro, sell and flip out. The fact that based AI team does not, fuck based AI. I'm saying it live. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we've been talking about in the Discord. And I know a lot of people that have DCA'd out. And listen, if something is not, if a project's not making an effort, then why should we bleed out with our money? And that goes for every single project. Every single project in your portfolio. At the very least, there should be some kind of good volume. It doesn't have that. Good marketing. It doesn't have that. Good team. Doesn't have that. So what are we buying? People talk about the heroes of Marvia. Heroes of Marvia are in the hands of Wintermute. They do regular 7 to 10 million volume, even though the price is shit. So that means when the market turns, they'll up it up, and then occasionally they do the odd post. You've got another project that has been down, but it's becoming more and more liquid, and that's Alephium. What have the team done? They've announced the Danube upgrade. They've integrated to every single wallet in the world. They've more. The CMO was traveling this week to the US for some potential partnerships. She's willing to come back next week on our channel. That is a team. That's what you want. But all of the other pussios can go to hell, bro. You're welcome, brother. You're welcome. I do hold a nice bag of nitro for sure. Are you bullish on Aerodrome? I think, if this is Mary, then you should absolutely know, bro. We bought Aero at the lows. So right now, Aero is kind of like call it an institutional VC darling of the base ecosystem. But we bought tons of Aero back in April at these lows. And Aerodrome is your gateway into the base ecosystem. And with, of course, Coinbase getting there, of course, the the stock market as well, crypto in the US, again, it's a DEX. So, again, if you stake this, you start earning via Aero. But yeah, Aerodrome, I think, we should see a very good, 10, perhaps 20x from these prices. At the very least, Aerodrome should be a $10, $10 cryptocurrency this cycle. $7 to $10, we'll say. Absolutely, bro. Guys, how many people we got? We've got decent amount of audience. Smash a like. Very good question. Is the team doxed? I believe so, but I can't confirm it yet. That's a very good question. I've read that they're an experienced team and all of that, but doxed, I haven't seen their faces, their names, or nothing like that yet. But that's a very good question. Salam to you too, brother Hassan. Hope you're well. Have I seen Micro GPT, Alex Becker, Crypto God John, Altcoin Daily, and House of Crypto keep shilling it? Nah, to be honest with you, no, bro. Because by the time they shill it, the chances are, unless obviously the price hasn't moved yet, by the time these guys normally get in and shill it, then it's all over. But I can see here, if this is the one, you can let me know. You can stomach that. It's only $2 million market cap, and Micro GPT. Well, this went absolutely nuts back in January with a $5 million volume. 24-hour volume, still decent. Listed on Mexi. Like I said, tokenomics 1 billion, fully circulating, and let's see what it is. Surprised they're shilling it, because the price, unless they've done it in that January pump, price just seems to be pretty low. Grammarly code to save time. There's this new AI agent. All right, okay. So it's coming from a quality launchpad, right? Exchanges, Gate and Mexi, Launchpad, Seedify, and 8 Terminal. Instant project kickstart in seconds. MicroGP turns ideas to fully functioning MVPs in minutes, helping teams prototype. Very, very good shout, bro. Very good shout. Only because the market cap is tiny, and if this is the one, probably let me just scroll down to your comments. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it looks like, look, it's got a decent exchange, and from what I can gather from the chart, they might have bought in early, or were given allocation as per usual, and they pumped it to these levels, right? All the way to, I think, over 5 cents. The chart has bottomed since, but the volume, and Gate always delivers good volume. Gate is the king of the shit exchanges that has the best volume. And it's on, 2 decent exchanges. So yeah, not bad at all. Great shout. I think fundamentally speaking, anyway, you've got Mexi, LBank, Gate, BingX, and of course you've got Mexi there doing, LBank, actually, it's LBank doing all of the volume here. Normally Gate is very good for that. So yeah, it's a decent shout. Very, very good token. from what I can see anyway. Good morning from sunny New Zealand, where there are more goats and sheep than human beings. And of course, New Zealand is not small at all. It's a continent. My brother from Zealandia, all the way from down under. And yeah, big up yourself, man. Ord is a possible play for me. Minimum unlocks, Doc's team, of course, several narratives, and of course, Ord is a very good project. There was I believe, kind of some kind of an announcement regarding the tokenomics as well. So Ord right now is at a $20 million market cap. And let's have a look. The chart looks to have completely bottomed, fully diluted 93 million. And I do believe I have actually trading volume here, 2 million, which is decent anyway, which is not bad at all. The chart, even though the chart looks like this, the project does have good partnerships. And I did see a video by one of the live streams from Crypto G, because I think Crypto G knows a lot about Ord, and big up Crypto G as well. And that video was regarding the NVIDIA conference. So all in all, Seagate, Lenovo, and Tencent are big companies, right? They're, normal IT giants, if you like. And if these are the partnerships that it has, then I can only see good things coming from this company or this project. And I do believe they are a Web2 company as well. So all is decent. I just wanted to get that announcement on the tokenomics here. Was something related to the tokenomics. So, they're marketing. This is what I'm talking about, right? If a project, look, Cointelegraph, spotlight on Ord Data Hub, you can see here, this is a good team, right? 8 hours ago. That's what you want. You want to be updated for your investment, not like what some teams are doing, grabbing money and then getting the F out. This is a very good, these are very good updates. You could see these guys are working hard. And that's what you want sometimes. You just need to get through the tough times. I always say to people, look, bear markets are for fundamental research. You wanna know about the fundamental research of a project. In a fourth and final year of a bull market, marketing trumps that. Can you go to 2 or 3 YouTube channels? Can you do AMAs? Can you post regularly? If your last post is 2 years ago, and I've seen projects. Yeah, and the worst thing about it is they actually still run and do well, which is absolutely fucking insane. Like you'll see teams that have done nothing, or ghosts, I call them the ghost projects, and all of a sudden they're running hard, right? So this is a from a technology standpoint, from partnerships, from all the things that they are trying to do, this is a real project. So far, it hasn't caught the win. We just haven't had a break, right? Price is right now where it was back in April. So yeah, I think it's an excellent project in my opinion. What's up, brother? I hope you're well. Dex in the building. Can you take a look over Shadow? Yeah, sure, bro. Yes, Broski, we can have a look at Shadow. Let's have a look at Shadow token. Which one? Do let me know in your next comment which one it is. Is it Shadow token or Shadow? Just Shadow. I assume you mean just Shadow. So we'll take a look at Shadow. $13 million market cap. You can already see that all of the coins, majority of them are out of circulation. So there's a heavy vest in here, total supply, max supply. Oh, okay. Circulating supply, yeah. So circulating to total, there's a lot of tokens out. TVL, not bad at all. 56 million for a 13 million circulating. Now, the next thing we need to look at is where can we buy this? And so far, we've got LBank, CoinW, and CoinX. So 3 smaller exchanges. LBank is decent. CoinW is decent. And they do, these are exchanges that are massive in the East, right? So, just because we haven't heard of them doesn't mean they should exchanges. They do lots of volume. So what is Shadow, right? A Sonic native concentrated liquidity exchange, ultimate trading hub on the Sonic platform. Now, we were talking about Sonic extensively yesterday. And one of the things I was saying to people was that don't underestimate Sonic or, Phantom, because Phantom pays a lot to developers. And so far, I do believe a protocol like this was needed, right? Simply, even if you have to engage to buy shitcoins, because, Phantom will have a lot, like there will be a Sonic season, right? So far, the DEXs haven't really impressed me that much. So this could be a kind of a DeFi play on the Sonic ecosystem. What I would say is be careful with the tokens. Understand whether they're for, what they're for. Basically, are they just vested for early investors? And what it does actually, the TVL now makes sense, and it kind of peaked over here. TVL was like 160 million, and it has come down a bit. And today, volume was 65K, and it's earning fees. So could that be applied to buyback and burns? So yeah, very good shout again. I like looking at these types of things. Circulating to total is just a bit off right now. But look at the trading volume, 21 million. And of course, with, these kind of like smaller exchanges. So yeah, very good shout. Looks decent, of course, pending further investigations. Yeah, Cronos pumped today, man. Number 1 coin today. Man, crypto.com is up to something. Yeah, Crow is the biggest mover today, and that DEX always moves. But look at that. Crow just had an amazing, crazy pump. But look how relatively small. Look how it's literally, Cronos got to last cycle. Again, not many people wait for the peak anyway, but it's nearly got to $1, man. So yeah, wherever the news is on Cronos, it had a good pump today. Big up Investor Squad who said, are you going to hold Kokoro until the next cycle? Hell no. Absolutely. Blasphemous, bro. We ain't holding nothing to the next cycle. God willing. God willing, we come back with just stables and that's it. Because there is no point in holding anything into the next cycle. That's the plan. The reality is a lot of people get caught out and things just fall apart. So there's always that risk in riding something all the way back down. But I do believe Kokoro does crazy numbers, and ultimately we will get plenty of opportunity to sell it. Breaking news that I'm just getting now. The White House says tariff on steel will rise from 25% to 50% beginning next week. And that's breaking news, which is absolutely insane. So now he just raised the steel tariffs. So Trump doubles the steel tariffs. This is just coming in right now. For fuck's sake, man. Someone take this guy's Truth Social away, man. Oh, mate. I tell you what, at this rate, this guy's going to screw all of us and then buy all the Bitcoin at $10, man. So basically, anyway, I'm sure, you know, I'm sure the way they're doing things is insane over there in the White House. But surely this type of this guy wants a bear market. You know, this guy just wants a bear market. Give this guy his bear market, man. Justin, literally, I kid you not, this is breaking news. 13 minutes ago, while we were live streaming, you know, my guy came up with another 50% tariff. So what's happening? Let's see what good old BTC is doing. Jeez, BTC. CPT is going to go to the LBC. This is oh man. Monday's going to be fun. Let's have a look at the stock market as well. It's actually in the last 1 hour. See that big red volume there? Yeah, it's reacting to the news. So basically, anyway, this stuff is overheated, but you're starting to see. That's what the Trump news looks like on the charts. We're looking at a 5-minute chart there. And of course, previous news about tariffs is right here. So if anyone thinks that my guy doesn't really control things, like literally, he's probably waiting for Bitcoin at 20K or something. The guy needs Aquapana Toscana. Alt did the AMA with Crypto G tonight. Oh, wicked. Very nice. I'll go and watch it. Thank you, bro. So let's have a look at this. We looked at this the other night. Shadow of Hope. Oh, sorry, I went off on one then. So I literally, you just gave me another token, another shadow. So this is a $1 million Solana play, which is, what's the volume saying? 52K. I mean, this is degen, man. You are a super degen, bruv. This is. Let's have a look at the shadow token. I think the other one, I was onto something. But holy crap, bro. In a world often overshadowed by struggle, the mural stands as a reminder that even in hardship, joy and hope could shine through, vibrant and yielding. Jeez, man. Look at the amount of pink. Looks fun, though. Road to Tokyo. Shadow of Hope token is backed by nothing. I've had enough hope, brother. Honestly. I don't want to live off hopium anymore. I want the money. But yeah, look, if you're, of course, you know, you got to respect the degens. This is a degen channel. I do believe that this is a pile of shit, but with $1 million market cap, I just expected more than 52K in volume, right? I just want maybe 200K. But I mean, I have no idea what the attraction here is. Maybe they've got a big sex following, so we'll have a look at that. Followed by Shibwell and Hardy. Hardy's a gem hunter. And of course, Shibwell is also a gem hunter. Shadow of Hope. Okay. I thought this was Tintin. Did anyone else think, comment if you think this is Tintin. The Adventures of Tintin. Mad thing. It's fun though, man. Crypto is fun, man. Rug me, please. Don't worry, man. Trump administration would do that for you before they pump it. But I do like the artwork anyway. Looks pretty cool. Shadow of Hope by Dex. Flock nearly went bonkers. Yeah, that's insane, bro. Yeah, that is bullish for American steel companies, provided that they don't need the raw materials to also the iron ore to also produce the steel. These industries are all interconnected. I do genuinely believe, look, whatever Trump is doing is up to him. But we are investors, right? And I know this man's a degen. Like I played last night, JD Vance was talking about his meme coin. I saw bullish for us, right? But ultimately, there comes a bit of fatigue for retail. And I do believe, of course, crypto before institutions was way more fun. I can tell you that now. But yeah, of course, if you can look, protectionist, I'm a bit of a, I love these macro things, and I research and read and enjoy history as well. There was a period of time when the US economy was totally a protectionist economy and did not trade with the rest of the world. In fact, if you look at the period before World War II, the US didn't want to get involved with anything. And guess what? Record prosperity. So if you integrate with the rest of the world, I think ultimately what happens is the retaliation for, you may protect your iron ore, but they are the largest producers of, rare earths, right? So you need that for Silicon Valley and innovation. So the whole world is interconnected, man. Vince said, "Oh, okay, you live in the Rust Belt states, is it, bro? What state are you from? Where the steel is made, and when China took over these towns, they took Gary, Indiana. Okay, I hear you, man. Used to be a great place, absolutely. And I think, listen, you do raise a fundamental point, and I think if I can actually even look beyond China, I would say, or even look beyond China and the US, I would go as far as saying Western countries were mainly built on the Industrial Revolution, right? I got family up in Sheffield and in the UK, in Yorkshire, big up Yorkshire. And what happens is economies evolve. So, for example, if you look at Detroit and cars or whatever, but we tend to look back and we think that the reason is because the manufacturing alone is not happening anymore. And I think it's deeper than that. I think Western societies in general have become they went from producers to consumers. And from consumers, of course, you have service that makes up about 70 to 80% of the individual economies. When you have that, when you don't have the factories, who's gonna do a 20-hour shift? I mean, UK is a classic example. You know, the leader of the Industrial Revolution, the home of the steam engine, and producing everything locally, natively. People don't do that anymore. During the 90s, I mean, you'd be lucky if you had your strawberries picked in the summer, right? So fundamentally, I think they as they say, you know, we can't have our cake and eat it. I think sometimes what happens is, for example, Gary, Indiana, it's true. You know, if you got the steel factories employing the local population, then that makes a direct impact. I agree with you on that. But I think overall, Western economies are no longer factories based. Man, Gary is literally from Chicago, man. Man, I'm a Chicago historian, bro, for the wrong reasons. I put myself to sleep by looking at Chicago drill, and it really pains me to see what happens in the south side of Chicago, man. The level of gang warfare is absolutely, what do they call it? They call it Chirac, don't they? It's horrific, man. You got kids that are growing up together, and the violence is just like the police is just sitting back, kicking back, and not doing anything. Insane. Yeah, once a good job. Yeah, it's man for man, bro. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. No, it's good news. Listen, you know, if I hope it does impact, I hope it's genuinely used for the right reasons. And as long as that happens and it brings jobs, then we should be good. But I think the point I'm raising is that across Europe, America, wherever, it's just not really, you know, service economies are just insane. It's insane. I've been there. Oh wow, 5 years in a big house. Oh wow, man, straightened my life out, brother. Vince, I'm proud of you, man. Guys, smash a like for Vince here, man. Bro, you know, I can't imagine. Honestly, I go into like a rabbit hole of research sometimes, and you know, I mean, these kids are blocks away from each other. You know, like friggin', it's like me fighting my neighbor that I grew up with next door, bro. Like, there's roads you can't cross because the ops are over there, man. So you know the value of human life sometimes it's insane, and yeah. But I hope it gets better, though. I hope it gets better. But I'm proud of you, man. I'm glad to have you here, brother. But yeah, guys, look, take advantage of you know. First of all, I mean, this is not the time to rush in. Clearly, but one thing that the April dip has showed everyone and taught everyone is that they ultimately find solutions and they will ultimately run these markets. The more we get frustrated, the more we think that it's not going to happen, the more likely it is to happen. So no hopium here. I think we have to be realistic with our exits, but I have a feeling that we are ultimately going to come out of this. I mean, look at this. Did anyone read the news that Render was delisted from Coinbase? A friend of mine told me that the other day. Very surprising if true, because why would Coinbase delist Render? Let me just check something. Exchanges. What am I looking at? Sorry, markets. Yeah, Coinbase still, I mean, it's pulling up. What's the depth? Yeah, 8 million volumes. So it must have been a rumor. Amazing, guys. Look, brilliant turnout. You know, we've done a Friday night. We've done a live stream every, you know, most nights this week. I want to thank you, and I want you to stay strong over the next 24 hours. Things could get quite spicy and dicey. But listen, never lose hope. That's what crypto offers. And as much as people saw their portfolios bleeding, it was even quicker to see the recovery. Accumulate smartly. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Don't go out to town. No drinking. Put the money into crypto. Buy the dip. Legends all over the place. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Good night, and smash a like on your way out. And let's close that door behind you as well. Take care, guys. We'll do another live stream tomorrow. Good night. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you.